Amazon. I was like, let me just see if I can get this thing to.
Oh yeah, get it popping. You
I should have saved that for the video.
Everybody knows how to work Zoom. Like everybody knows how to, I guess, put it on like gallery view and all that, so you can see everybody. In your top right corner. Yeah. Also, you can go ahead and if you need help, I can help you out. But you can change your names to like whatever you want to be followed at. You can do like Instagram.
That's a good idea.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Twitters, or if you're not doing Instagram and you're doing like just putting your name or something, and that's what you call on Facebook, just put like in parentheses like FB next to it or something, so people at least know that's where it is. But if it's Instagram or whatever, then you can just leave it.
It's crazy. I've done so many things on Zoom, and I didn't know you could do that.
Change your name?
Yeah, I didn't know you could.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had no idea. It's nuts.
Do you got it? Do you need help, or you got it?
No, I have it actually.
Okay,
Okay. It's I didn't realize how easy it was.
Well, yeah, man. So we waiting on definitely one, maybe two more people. But basically, yeah. For one, thank y'all for coming. But basically, what this is a podcast, for lack of a better terms. It's something that was started at the very, very beginning of quarantine by just me and some comedian friends. And then just over time, I had just decided to just kind of extend it out to just people who I've just ran into or met at some point in time during comedy. Because I've only been doing comedy 5 years, but I've met a gajillion comedians, especially between also moving quite frequently. I was in the DC, Miami, and now California. So yes, I just figured I'll just invite people from the different scenes, and people who may have never met each other before can kind of network, get each other's information, and then once the world opens back up, if y'all cross paths, then somebody.
Fantastic.
Other than that, as far as conversation, I mean, this will last about like an hour or so, just depending on how long y'all talk. I mean, an hour at the least. I'm not gonna force it to be long or whatever, but if the conversation is going, I'll let it go. But it's definitely, you could literally talk about anything. We've talked, we talked about people's favorite Debbie cakes. We've talked about, what you're doing during quarantine, whatever. Doesn't matter. This is just, but feel free to, to be a comedian, you know what I'm saying? And not like running bitch, but I'm saying like, we're amongst other comics, so you can talk like a comic. You don't have to feel like it's gonna be offensive or whatever. I mean, just be you. Now, granted, we are going live, so don't get yourself, fucked up. But I'm saying, but feel free to definitely, talk about comic shit or whatever. And I'll go live right at it'll be. So he said he on the way. It's 6 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock most of y'all's time, I think, if not all y'all. I'll go live on my Facebook right at that time. You can share it from my page. If you don't follow me on Facebook, it's just same name on Instagram, Rudy Willy Nilly, which is a long, funny story behind that name. But yeah, and then we'll just do this for like an hour, man. And I'll start off with like a little quick introductions, nothing too extravagant. Just like I'll say, this is Mike. I met him in Miami, blah, blah, blah. I'll talk to you as if I didn't already ask you how you was doing. You know what I'm saying? you know how this pretend shit goes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Of course.
That's just like, I thought about like, why do we always shake the host's hand like when we get on stage as if we already haven't, spoken? Like it's a courtesy thing. It's like a show business thing. Like
it really is, isn't it?
You shake the host's hand.
It's even a show of respect, like, okay, all right.
Yeah, like even on like Conan and stuff, like they're pretending that they haven't rehearsed this conversation.
Right.
Like it's literally like, now I say the thing, and now you tell your story about how you went camping. All right, and go.
Right.
Like,
no, facts. Oh, that's real. Showbiz, I guess.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Will?
What's up, Will?
Man, what's going on?
Chilling, bro. Chilling, man.
What's up, fellas?
Appreciate you pulling up.
How are you, man?
Hey, Will, do you know how to change your name? If so, I want change it to like your IG or whatever you want to follow that. Hell yeah.
I missed that. Yeah. I missed that.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, I haven't hosted in so long. I forgot all about that.
I missed that. It's so funny. Yeah.
Man, I haven't done live stand-up since March. I've only, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was lucky enough that there was a show that I was safe. I felt safe enough to do like 2 weeks ago, I think, and I headlined that. But other than that, it's been since March for me as well.
Yeah.
Like it felt so weird being on stage too.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was so weird.
It's definitely
you got Bambi legs again standing out there.
Well, like for 10 minutes, you're like still questioning if you're funny anymore.
Oh no, I know, man.
like you're like,
I believe
and you're like, people are laughing, but like, are they laughing because they haven't seen a person in 6 months, or like, you know, like, are they actually laughing because I'm funny? You know, like you're just questioning all these things.
Yeah, I did one in June. Like it was the week or a couple of days after DL passed out. And yeah, and I was like, I mean, everybody, it was packed in the place, but I felt so nervous, man. Like it was just like, you know, people breathing and like, you know.
Well, I actually went out to San Antonio and Arizona to do a run of shows with a guy with Jeff Dye, who I opened for. The week before, Brendan Schaub and Brian Count and all those guys went out there and got it. Yeah. And we just got lucky. I mean,
wow.
we were safe, but we just got lucky. That whole fucking, him, his opener, his host, and his road manager all got sick. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
I got lucky. The same club and everything.
Yeah, they did the same three. It was Salt Lake, San Antonio, Phoenix, and the guy before we did the same run. I skipped the Salt Lake trip. It is in San Antonio, Phoenix, and yeah, they got. I guess they caught it. They think they caught it in Arizona because Arizona was wide open. It was like a June, you know, and they didn't give a fuck. They weren't even wearing masks at that point. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
yeah, that is nuts.
Man, I'm glad that you were on the lucky side of.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't got health insurance, man. I'll be fucked up.
None of us do, man. We tell jokes for a living.
Man,
I'm telling you.
Our health insurance is believing in God.
Yeah. Literally, like, and the shirt is health insurance. Man, I've done some shows with Rudy. You remember Brock Snyder from DC?
Of course.
Yeah, he does. He does his business now. He basically works for this company, this building company that owns a bunch of like apartment buildings up and down the East Coast. And so they hired Brock to like basically put together shows and do different things for residents of these buildings. And so I've done a few socially distant shows with him, like at different places where like apartment buildings where the audience is like far away. But it's weird because number one, you're literally in their house doing comedy. We're not in their house, we're in their building. So weird, yeah. You're like in their building, so if they don't like it, they can literally just go back upstairs and shit. So that's weird. And the first time I did the shit, it was at a show in Philly. So I rode up from DC to Philly with him, and we did this show. It was very socially distant. The photos looked great. It was on this rooftop and it was outdoors. It looked awesome. But my first couple jokes didn't hit, and I can't lie, it felt like I was brand new. Because I was like,
oh yeah.
Because the first couple of things I just started doing, riffing on shit that I was doing on Zoom, the shit that like current event shit. I'm like, oh, they don't want to hear this. They want to hear like polish. They don't hear polish material. So I went into the material I was doing before the world shut down, and it worked out. But
how funny.
I was like, okay, so none of this shit I've been doing on Zoom is ready for prime time. Clearly, all right.
I got a buddy. So I started comedy in Boston, and like you, Rudy, not long ago, about 4 years ago.
Right.
And buddy of mine out there, he's flat broke too, comic, struggling, and he came up with the idea. He's like, oh man, if I can get people to pay $40, I'll do it in their driveway. So he started hitting up his friends and family first, and then he started doing 5-6 shows a week, just going to a driveway. He's like, you can put as many people you want in the driveway. You put 50, you give me $50, I'll do it, whatever.
Oh,
half an hour for you. Yeah, and he's making a couple of dollars a week doing that. It's like, all right,
holy shit.
And it's off the books too, so he's still getting unemployment. He's put that money right in his pocket.
Right. I think all comedy money is pocketed until like somebody's writing you a real check. Like,
exactly. Oh yeah.
If you're doing anything in a bar or somewhere like you're definitely like, nah, ain't nobody knowing about this. Just
like
break me off in cash.
I'm only used to getting paid with a gun on the table. Like,
I'm used to getting paid in chicken wings and free beer, son. Well,
Well,
yeah,
for
that's
sure.
true too.
2 drink tickets and a meal. No, for sure. You see, I'm a fat ass, so like the meals wasn't that bad for payment for me sometimes. Like,
Oh, sure.
That's one of the best things about comedy is like free food and shit. You know, like,
right? It's like 7 minutes. I get fries and a sandwich. That's not too bad. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I haven't
Especially
eaten
in LA, man, they'll charge you $25 for a grilled cheese.
oh shit!
Like
Forget
that's
about
how LA is, you know.
that. They'll charge you for open mics as well. That's.
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah.
know. Yeah, I know about
about
that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've yet to
Absolutely.
perform in LA, but I've been hearing about like just basically just talking to people
Brother.
before you start signing up for and asking or showing up
Listen
places.
to me.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I understand. I get why they charge, but at the same time, it's shitty being on the end who has to pay. Because like they charge because like literally in Los Angeles alone, it is a infinity amount of comedians. Like people who are getting on stage every day.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the little website or what the little link or whatever they got created, like there's open mics running from 12 noon and like at a bunch of different places all the way to 10 something at night. Just on the hour. Every single I just open my and there's people showing up to you. So like it's so many comics like, you know, it's a high demand and you're not bringing an audience. So like basically I'll charge you $5 for 5 minutes or make you buy a drink or whatever. So I'm at least making money for turning my lights on or whatever.
Yeah, no, I
But
get
at
it.
the, right. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it does limit you being able to do comedy like every day like I did when I was in Miami because I can't afford to pay every single day.
Well, yeah, that's one thing I was gonna say. I feel like because I started out in Boston, you started out in Miami, Willie. I feel like
I started in DC, but
Okay.
yeah,
same thing. I feel like starting outside of New York or LA, you're better off. You know, in
For
terms of you know your first couple years getting stage time, getting to do real shows, and they might not pay, but you'll have real audience in there. Out here, man, I mean, you're gonna be doing those $5 open mics. You're fucking blue in the face for the first 5 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so.
Bro, they got because even at like the comedy store, you know, they do the open mic every Monday or whatever it is,
Yeah,
and like, you're right, and you literally so you sign your name, and it's nothing short of 200 comics out here at least, if not more. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
can
I'm saying?
imagine. Yeah.
And you're literally signing up for it's like a 12 to 14 slot show, and what I found out because I by the skid, like basically I got lucky because I was doing something at Flappers and somebody who knew somebody who had an in at the comedy store just happened to see me. It was another comic. So he basically referred me and that's how I got my one chance to perform at the open mic or whatever.
That is literally how LA works, dude.
Right.
That is
But
literally how
family.
LA works.
Yeah.
Like it is all friends and family. It's all I know this guy who knows this guy.
Well, that's what they call it. I mean, like, so that potluck, like, there's 15 spots.
Right.
Well, I'd say half of them are friends and family, and the other half are truly lottery.
And that's the point. That's the point.
That makes sense.
But that's the point I was getting ready to make. So only 4 is literally the lottery. Like
That's
everything,
crazy.
everything else is already people who they're rotating, who they're trying to work their way up in the rankings or whatever at the whole like comedy store thing or whatever. So it's definitely like, so out of 200 people, like, I mean, people literally have been showing up for years. Like I talk to people out there, like they like, yeah, I've been showing up here every Monday for 3 years and I still ain't never got on. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, so why are you still showing up here? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many mics in LA. Like, this is not the end all be all. You know,
well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
the thing too. The stage time's what you want. You know, the stage time at the end of the day is what you want. I mean, like obviously, putting in FaceTime is important sometimes and all that bullshit. But I mean, if you're just starting out, you need as much. I mean, you should do a bar with one fucking person if you can give 50 minutes. You know, like you need something. So
dude, let me tell you, I actually started in LA, and so for some people it is like a horrible idea to start in LA. For me, with my personality, it was actually, my brain was like, yo, you either get good or get out because everybody's better than you. So it made me get better really quick.
Yeah.
And so And dude, it just reminded me, you were telling me about the potluck and all this stuff. So I worked at the UPS store on Sunset Boulevard. Probably shouldn't say that, but I don't care. I worked at the UPS store on Sunset Boulevard that's right next to the Laugh Factory. And so every Thursday I would ask off early so I could stand in line to get into the Laugh Factory.
Right.
Dude, I'm not even joking you. I would make it onto the list, and 3 times in a row, I was bumped by Dane Cook. I was Sue-fied out of that freaking Laugh Factory 3 times in a row.
But
and
Mike,
then,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I thought you.
No. And I was gonna say I got on the list a 4th time, and I got lucky because the 3rd time that I was there, he got in trouble for calling a waitress the C word, and I was like, oh great, he's banned from the Laugh Factory. There's no way I'm gonna get bumped. You know what I mean? And so like I get on the list, and they're like, hey, I'm sorry, man, Daniel Tosh is here. And I'm like,
okay.
all right, dude. You know what? I'm just done. I'm done. But this is actually the good part of the story. Daniel Tosh actually came up to me and said, hey, are you Mike? And I said, yeah. And he goes, hey, I'm Daniel. And like in my head, I'm like, I know who you are, but I was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. And he's like, hey man, I'm going to go up there. I'm just working on some new stuff. I'm going to do 7 minutes. Rudy, guys, I'm telling you, to the second, 7 minutes, came down from the stage, said, thank you very much, Mike, and left with somebody that I assume was a bodyguard. And then I went up there and proceeded to eat dicks, dude. I ate so many dicks. But like, that's LA, dude. That's how it is.
To your point, that's what I was going to say. Another almost downfall is for just say guys like us, because like in LA, you're not just doing comedy against just the other comics. There's celebrities here. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Yeah. So
I was watching the Comedy Store thing on Showtime, and I'm like, they were like on any given night, it's like a lineup that you would pay like a grip to see anywhere else, but you getting it for like however much it costs to just show up there and just
you'd pay a grip to see one person.
One
on a
them,
lineup.
Yeah.
I mean,
like it's crazy.
I have friends who like pass at like the Improv and whatnot, and they're like on the lineup, like the regular show Friday night lineup, good lineup or whatever. But then back when he could still do comedy, Chris D'Elia would drop in, and they'd go up before one of my buddies, and they're like, and these guys are funny guys, but they don't give a fuck. It's the audience that is like they're just wrapped up in seeing the celebrity, so like they literally have to spend 5 of their 15 minutes trying to get them to calm down about who was just on stage. Their own jokes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I actually was lucky enough when I was there that I got to see Chris Rock work on his monologue for the Oscars.
Oh, wow.
And at the Comedy Store, and bro, he's said it in interviews before, and he's just like, there's no lie. Like, the thing that sucks about being a celebrity is like you have a good 8 minutes where like you can just say dick and anyone is gonna laugh at you. Like you it doesn't like he actually didn't start working on stuff until like 8 minutes in, because people were just like, I can't believe it's him. And even I was like, I can't believe it's him. Like it was nuts.
So he wanted to wait for it to get genuine, like to settle down a little bit. Like
of course, yeah. Yeah, which is the best way to go about it. I would assume that's why Dave Chappelle is very chill when he's on stage, because when he does get that pop, it's a real pop,
Gotcha.
It must get hard. I guess he's got. No, yes, I was saying, like I can't imagine like I would always wonder like as your fame level rises, like am I still funny or are they just laughing because they know me?
For
it
sure.
must be hard finding like an honest audience once you have a real established name to get real reactions to make sure that the material works, right? Because like you said, at some point they're gonna stop being surprised that you're a fucking famous guy and they're gonna want to hear good material.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing a full hour, right? I mean, 20 minutes in, they're like, all right, this is bullshit. I'm tired of seeing whoever fucking David Spade bomb because I know they So I wonder how hard it must be to build a real set once you have a really established name, if it makes it more difficult.
Perform in front of black people.
Oh yeah.
That was just, that's what I said. We will let you know. We'll let you know after, but you might
Listen
got a
to
couple
me.
of minutes of just like,
Those are my
oh
favorite
wow,
crowds.
what's happening? But then you're
Listen
like,
to
okay,
me.
well, all right, be funny, motherfucker. Like that's really
Black-
what's going on. You know?
Black people be shitting on Kevin Hart, all of them. Like they don't.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the higher those type of people go, they shit on them the more and more.
yeah,
Like
the
they,
higher you go, the higher the expectation.
oh my god, like he is not funny no more. But I mean, it's bad.
Well, I
It's
feel like 'cause they
bad.
know that like, that's their night out, man. You better come fucking funny, or they're gonna get pissed. You know?
Yeah, you gotta bring
But the thing about it is,
Kevin,
Kevin's obviously funny to somebody because he's selling arenas out all over the world. But like, it ain't. I mean, if you look at the names on them tickets, it ain't that many niggas.
Yeah.
It ain't that many niggas.
So
not
it's
anymore.
funny.
Not anymore. It used to be, but not as much.
Yeah, Kevin Hart to black people is what Nickelback is to white people. You know, like they're like, I used to like them, but now they're bullshit. Like
His early stuff. His early stuff was hot. His new shit is. His first album was the shit.
He's
The rest of
Nickelback.
it-
bro,
His first
clearly they're
album.
good at what they do. They're selling arenas. Like
right.
like
He
No,
should
no,
name his next special Nickelback. You know, just because.
oh my god, yes.
What you say, Will?
No, but I was gonna ask because I was like, I feel like with comedians, it seems like that happens a lot though. Once they get to a certain level, they just stop being as funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I guess it's because of you know, the crowd is always just like they're not getting honest laughs.
They're
But-
not being forced to work.
What?
Yeah, I was about
Well-
to say. A lot of times you're not as hungry too. You know, that's from,
Yeah.
and
Not
that's
as
just from what
hungry.
I've heard from folks who like, you know, like, cause you know, 'cause Tony Woods is still in DC and he like basically, I mean, he still travels the world tours, but he's still like, you know, he's knows everybody, and
Right.
he just talks about like a lot of folks aren't as hungry as, you know, a lot of folks you know who
Well,
is and who isn't, you know. Yeah.
And I bet too, just the wealth factor, right? As the wealthier you get, the more removed from everyday shit you are. So I
Yeah,
guess
Exactly.
they can
Exactly.
write about topics that resonate with everyday people. when
Exactly.
they're not on your
Well,
Yeah, I
I
can
mean,
imagine.
you know, it's a little bit like off color now, but like just compare Delirious to Raw. Eddie Murphy's Delirious to Eddie Murphy's Raw. Like
Right.
he's so hungry in Delirious, and you can see it. You can see it, and you're like, bro, this 22-year-old kid is funny as all get out. And then in Raw, it's like you can see that he's made a lot of money.
Right.
Like you can see that he's a
He
billionaire.
talks about it in his act. Yeah, he talks
Exactly.
About it.
Like you can clearly see that he's a billionaire. You know, like,
right.
and he's like, bro, I had the #1 action comedy of all time. I don't need this. You know, like, which is true. You know, like he doesn't
Right.
need it. You
No,
know,
that's
but
real. That's real. And like, go ahead.
No, you first. You first.
No, all I was getting ready to just say was, but I think that's why black crowds judge the black comedians so hard the bigger they get because, and not to get too deep, but whether it's systemic or whatever, there's way more black people, your average black person than it is somebody who's thinking of politics on a daily basis, whatever. Like they want to hear just down to earth jokes. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not to belittle black people, whatever. I'm not trying to make this that type of thing, but I'm saying, but most black people who are going to spend their money to go to a comedy show, first of all, most, regardless of what color you are, non-true comedy fans, people who are not really caring about the art, most people, they just go because it is that celebrity. I seen you in this movie. You was funny in that movie. You'll probably be funny on stage as well. They have no idea there's a difference between the two styles of comedy, nothing. So for them, if you come and you're talking about waist trainers or lace fronts or whatever like that, black people gonna think it's funny because that's shit whether even if they're the upper class and they're just laughing at the ratchet bitch or whatever, they still think it's funny for whatever reason. But if you go too much into like, you know, just say what rich people talk about or whatever, it's not that they don't appreciate your success or whatever, but that's just not what we live, you know what I'm saying? And then it just dies out. But most people, once again, regardless of what color you are, if you're just a comedy fan, all of that success or whatever won't matter because you're just going into it for the art in the first place. But most people don't go to comedy shows for that. They just go for the celebrity, which is how they sell the tickets in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember like 2 years ago when he first started doing comedy. What the fuck is his name? Homeboy who played Ari Gold on Entourage. Jeremy Piven. Jeremy Piven played Boston.
yeah, I was just about to mention him.
Yeah, played Boston. I think he did 4 shows. Sold I think 3 of them out immediately. And he was doing a meet and greet afterward, right? And so I went down there because I was friends with the comics. I don't think I was doing comedy at the time, actually. I think maybe I just started. And we're down there talking bullshit. And Jeremy goes up and he's got like 5 minutes of material. After his first 5 minutes of him being famous, 5 minutes of material, then he just started to say, bomb. I mean, like, I felt bad because, I mean, they fucking paid him, had more than headliner money. And you got to take the paycheck, but to eat a dick like that. But then after the show, he does a meet and greet, and he charges like whatever, $40-50 to take a picture, get an autograph, whatever. Somebody in the audience,
even after the bomb.
Oh, after the bomb, yeah. Somebody, but listen to this, his boss. It's like, how bold is that? How bold is that?
I feel
The
like
balls
even
of
then,
this motherfucker.
I feel like even then, you're just like, okay, the check might not clear. Let me just go ahead.
Exactly. But peep this. So after the show, this Boston, right? So some guy paid him $50 to go to the meet and greet. Paid $50, gets in. He fucking nut taps Jeremy Piven and runs out. And he's like literally punched Jeremy Piven in the nuts with a bomb he put on the crowd. Ran out of the back of that. Nobody caught him, bro. All the comics were laughing and talking about this shit for like 3 weeks.
Shit.
Like, you bombed so hard,
That's
somebody
amazing.
paid $50 to smack you after the show.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's
wow.
cold-blooded.
That is wild. I've been working on like a new set about basically trying to make the shit stage worthy. Telling the story of the worst bomb I ever had, but yeah, no one's ever tried to assault me and shit.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, actually they did one time because a heckler tried to once. Yeah, that shit happened at UWC, bro. Yeah, it was like a heckler, literally.
Oh wow.
He yelled. He was in the front row, and he said some shit. So I asked him what he said. He's like, "Nigga, you ain't funny." And then so I was like, "You know what it is?" And so I started frying his outfit, and then I started his shoes. I went to his pants. I went to his shirt, and I got to his hairline. And the hairline was literally the line. Like that was a line.
That was it.
Because I said this shit like the
subject.
I said this shit like the aerial view of a stadium. I was like, that.
That's great.
He got up and tried to grab the mic, and then he tried to get on stage. So I pushed him off, and next thing he turned to a melee and shit. But
But he didn't pay extra money to try and do that.
he didn't pay. He didn't pay. No, he was like, he was just drunk. Like that was just his excuse. He was just drunk. He didn't make a concerted effort to come to hit me after the show and then spend money to do it too. Like
Exactly.
like it's worth $50 to punch this motherfucker in the nuts. The night I just endured. So that's insane. Oh my god.
Hilarious.
Boston's a wild place like that.
Ironically, a week later, Steve-O came and asked that guy to punch him in the nuts. It's like, that's my whole act, is asking people to punch me in the nuts.
He's his road opener now. That guy's his road opener.
That's his tour manager, dude.
Oh shit.
Yo, Rudy, what is
yeah.
your hell gig story? Tell me a hell gig story.
For me, well, so pause for 1 second because I never did the introduction. Real quick, so we got Mike from Miami, Leon in DC area, DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Randy's out in LA, and then Will, you still in Miami, right?
Yeah, Miami. Yep.
Yeah, we're still in Miami.
Nice.
All right, cool. I would, to answer that question, I think the worst. This whole show was a bomb. You know, like not even just my performance. The reason why I say that is because if anybody, you do comedy in the DC area, you're gonna make your way back and forth to New York quite a few times. Not that you're necessarily, at the cellar being the hot shot, but I'm just saying in general, like it's like
You got a spot, you got to go. You got a spot, you got to go.
Yeah, those scenes intertwine a lot. Like a lot, New York comics come down, it's a back and forth, whatever. So after doing that for so often, I get enough, nuts to basically, put on my own show. You know what I'm saying? So I do the Greenwich Village Comedy Club, so underground spot. Probably hold about 30, 40 people tightly. And long story short, I mean, everything that could go wrong did. I mean, like intro music wasn't working.
That's your whole thing is
Well-
music, right? What's a black comic gonna do if the beat doesn't come on?
No, and that
He's not
matters.
dancing for 25 minutes.
And that matters because when I go to white shows and they just introduce me and it's just strictly applause, like I'd be like, man, where the fuck is the DJ at? Like, I need a motherfucker. But like I'm naming intro music because it just added to the problem. Because like for one, like Greenwich Village it's a tight ran comedy club because they do back-to-back shows. Like
Yeah.
Like, you know, like 5, 6, like so like your show got to start on time, end on time. So like my entire audience, it can only hold probably maybe 30, 40 people. At least 25 of those people didn't show up to 20, 30 minutes late into the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to headline, but I also got like 3 people who's supposed to go before me or whatever like that. So like everything was going wrong during their sets as far as like the microphones and stuff, whatever. People, you know, didn't realize they didn't serve real food, so they was complaining about stuff, you know. So, but I'm also promoting the show. I'm the producer, so I'm dealing with this stuff.
Yeah.
While still having to headline. So now I'm knocking back the strongest Long Island iced teas that they can serve. And basically by the time I get on stage, I'm talking about like, I mean, I got family there, girlfriend, homeboys, and I'm talking about just the most disappointing set that I mean, like, it was so bad when we all went out to dinner afterwards. Like, I didn't even talk to anybody. I was literally just at the table with my head down. Like, just didn't want to communicate. I was so embarrassed of how that entire night went. Like, it was like people was just, they was trying to encourage me because they knew this whole shit was a failure. So, like, for me, like I said, from start to finish, that I really remember that night because not only my set was horrific, but that everything leading up to it was horrific as well. And so it made for a terrible night.
Oh man,
that's insane. You know what? That reminded me of, like, have you guys seen The Joker, the movie Joker?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So in that movie, you know, the whole thing is that it's playing with, like, is it in his head or is it not?
Right.
I knew for like without a shadow of a doubt that the whole thing was in his head. The scene that he did the open mic, because he took a date to an open mic, bombed, and the date continued.
Yeah,
that never happens.
Exactly.
You want to see if your stuff is strong? Take a girl to see you do comedy.
And it was a black girl.
And it was Zazie Beetz, bro. Like, there's no way.
That is what I was about to get into when I was telling you this. The thing that, because I mentioned that other story about like the heckler dude, but I don't even consider that a bomb because I wasn't bombing. He was just drunk, and then I didn't lose a fight either. So fuck it. And so I didn't, I didn't bomb. But the bomb story was I got like 2 years into comedy. I got paid like they paid me like $250 to do like a cookout somewhere. This woman I knew paid me, like, one of her neighbors was having a cookout and they wanted a comic there. And first off, I had the material a little bit for what they wanted me to do, but I really wasn't ready for any type of variables, and it was nothing but variables. I went in there. First off, everybody was drunk when I got in there. Like the birthday woman was turning like 45 or 50 or something, and then her husband was there, and they were both lit when I got to the door. The husband looked at me and was like, "You don't look funny," and I was like, so I did the same thing. I did that guy, and I made fun of him, and then he didn't. You know, he was, everybody else was amused, he wasn't, and I was like, okay, so. Right. One half of the people who owns the town doesn't like me already. Right. And so she was really drunk, and she was like, "Okay, don't curse." I was like, "I'm not gonna curse," but then everybody, including the little kids, was cursing out there. And they wanted me to perform right next to a goddamn moon bounce with kids jumping on it and everything and screaming and everything. And so
the husband brought you up. He said, "This motherfucker don't look funny." Here he is, Leon.
We told this guy not to motherfucking curse.
You know, people are dancing. There's a DJ playing music and people are dancing. She grabs the DJ's mic while it's like hot, and she's like, "DJ, cut the music, cut the music."
Oh no.
What's your name again, baby? Oh, Leon. That's right, Leon. Here.
Oh, no.
Also, tell the some jokes and threw the mic at me. And I was like, it was the worst intro I could ever gotten in my life. I feel good that they listened for 5 minutes. But after 5 minutes, I started hearing somebody started doing the Apollo Theater siren with his mouth. He was like, "Wee."
Oh no.
And I was like, and I noticed nobody was paying attention. I was like, all right, well, thank you very much. Good night. And I like the girl I brought there, I was like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here now. Like, and we left as soon
before they asked their money back.
They paid me in advance, so I was like, let's get out now. We got out.
Yeah.
As soon as I got to the door, this old dude was waiting at the door. He was like, "I thought you was funny." Which is like the most hated compliment you can ever get, because it's like he's like, "Please don't kill yourself." That's what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah, that's the true testament to me actually being funny, is one person being like, "I thought you were good."
Yeah, not actual laughter, but the old dude at the door waiting for me to leave. Yeah, but then we get in the car on the way back. This woman who I literally had sex with 3 times before we went to this thing. She was just like, Yeah, I think we should just be friends. That's how bad I
no,
mean.
son.
Oh my
It was
wow.
break up bad. It was like, yeah, I can't do this with you, man.
That's
You done
so
brought me to
funny.
this party and embarrassed me. I didn't want it.
I was like, you're never gonna see these people again. But it was clearly like, yo, we're not gonna do this anymore because I don't even
Yeah.
see you that way. Yo, that's how bad it was.
I see a lot of young comics do that. Not necessarily like young in comedy, but young in age, bringing girls to a show. And I'm like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
unless it's the hottest room on town, you might
Yeah.
you run the risk.
Yeah,
of
it's a
fucking that
bad
thing up.
move.
It was for me. It was sheer delusion of confidence. It was sheer like, oh, I got it, and
Right.
nope, didn't happen.
No.
True. I learned a lot from it, though. I learned a lot about like what to do in these. Like I did a cookout maybe like a year and a half later, and I actually was about 2 years later, and I actually knew what to do in that situation when like like as far as like what to do ahead of time and being prepared and like how to like make sure I'd be ready for these variables and make sure it's not a setup like that. But and it went well, so it felt like a good full circle moment. But honestly, yeah, that's a good thing about this. Is like comedy will let you know, like when you go through a bad situation like that, you either learn from it or you let it get to you and maybe like affect your confidence and you might quit or whatever. But or you either just keep pushing forward and try to take something from it. That's, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only art form that'll keep you humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every bomb's like that. Every bomb is like hitting on the hottest girl in your high school in front of everybody and having her reject.
In front of everybody.
Hitting on her butt naked
Like-
and everybody.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah,
rejected
and
you.
Like you took the chance of like overtaking like the morning announcements. You're on the intercom and shit, like all in front of the whole school.
Yeah, you have
And
your
she-
rom-com moment and you fucking and it blows, son. And
You're right. She just like
turns her back on you.
Yo.
That imagery hit me too well.
Yeah, I remember once upon a time where like people used to like laugh at the kids in my high school who did like the morning announcement, like the videos or whatever. But like I'd be like, in hindsight, I wish I would have did that shit. I would have been way further along with knowing how to do like, you know what I'm saying? Like I learned a lot of all the stuff that I know now in reference to any type of video production, whatever, was all like later. But like they learned that shit at 16, 17, 15, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even back then you think that's not cool, but that's a very, very good skill to know. Just to you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a kid, you don't think how useful some skills might be later. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
You just really forget the whole fucking thing.
Right.
What? There's like some kids now in school that are like, I don't want to learn how to do podcast production. That's stupid. And then like 5 years later, they'll be like, oh, like Rogan makes billions of dollars talking to people,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I got
For
buddies who
hours.
fucked off in like accounting in like an accounting class, and now they're getting fucking audited by the IRS and shit. It's like they kept yourself out of jail, motherfucker, if you pay attention.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, are you back out here in these Miami streets now that y'all back open as far as comedy and shit? Like have you hit
man,
any
I
spot?
haven't gone out yet, man. I just honestly since the pandemic, the quarantine, man, I just been really focused on like just screenwriting, man. I've been writing
Got you.
a lot because
Nice.
yeah, because I don't know what else to do like creatively. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, so I just write a lot of scripts.
How do you do you have to class to learn how to do that? Did you go to school for that? Because I mean, I don't know shit about screenwriting, man. I'm out here in LA. I'm just trying to tell dick jokes at strip malls,
YouTube
Dick
University, man. I just straight up YouTube, bro. Like,
see, that's the thing, man. You can get a fucking education for free these days, man.
Yeah, I learned I did the same thing as you, Will. I actually learned screenwriting and all that just through YouTube, and majority of the job is just having Final Draft on your computer. Like it's not that hard, like but and like really the only thing you need to learn is like format. Like the rest of it is just like your ideas.
Just storytelling.
So,
basically.
and you're already a storyteller. We're comedians.
Exactly.
That's
I don't
the whole
use
thing.
Final Draft, man. I use Highland too. It's free.
Oh yeah?
Nice.
I didn't even know about that. I know Celtics is free for a while, but yeah.
Yeah. Writer's Digest. That's
dope. Do you write movies or TV shows,
I just finished writing a pilot today, or TV pilot. So I've been mostly
dude.
on, like short films and like TV pilots. So
Yeah. Do you have a spec that you've been writing?
It's about Willie bombing.
Nice.
I wrote an Insecure spec.
Nice.
Oh, dope.
Great show.
But that's pretty much been it, man. Just
Yo,
right.
Yeah, you
it's-
have to get like you have to make sure you have like spec scripts on deck. You know,
Yeah.
ever since I heard that story that Donald Glover got hired on 30 Rock because he had 2 spec scripts that he just had in his email, and then he got hired 24 hours later, I was like, oh, I always need to have spec scripts on my person because I just might get hired immediately
Right.
because someone
sure.
knows someone. You know.
For sure.
Are y'all doing shows? But y'all doing shows out there? Because I know like in the shows in the park. Y'all getting up right now?
LA. Yeah, I was gonna say. Go ahead, Randy.
No, I did a couple outdoor shows that are coming back. One out in UCLA College and another one in West Hollywood. So it's starting to creep back, but they're all outdoor. But it's better than nothing. I mean, you know.
Well, yeah, I need to get up with you about it because I was trying to find some out. Do those cost or those are free?
No, those are free. I can hook you up with probably both of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got you.
We can
I
do
got
that.
you.
What's
See,
up?
It's working out really already. For real.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I was just talking. Well, for one, what's up, CJ? CJ, the fellas. I
What
know
up, CJ?
What's up?
Yeah,
man?
CJ, another DC comic. What was I getting ready to say? Oh, I was just talking to a comic about like how like I'm at the point of like I'm really itching for like live stand up. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done a couple of Zoom shows or whatever, and Zoom shows are beneficial in the sense of just being able to get your jokes out, you know, off your paper and being able to say them out loud. But it ain't like, you know, sometimes I find myself just watching just old videos of me just on stage just so I can just hear real laughter after I tell a joke. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to reading the comments and seeing who threw the smiley face, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm really itching. So I'm you know, and I told myself once I got my own microphone, I was gonna go to the, you know, start doing open mics, and now I got my own microphone. Not this one I'm talking, but like a microphone to be able to perform with. So
Yeah.
so I want to do that ASAP.
Yeah,
Even if it's just in front of other
I'll
comics.
text you after the show, man. I'll put you in touch with those folks.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. CJ, what's popping, man? What you got going on?
Chilling, man. Tired, man. I got so much shit going on. I totally forgot about this jump.
Nah, you straight. You straight.
I know you just texted me like an hour before, and I'm still late.
Is DC open? Is the shit open in DC or what? It's still locked down pretty tight.
Yeah, there's nothing going on out here. Only in Virginia you can have like events or whatever, but I haven't seen any comedians do anything. But yeah, I haven't heard anything in DC. I don't think any venues are open.
Nah, yeah, it's like out here because I live right in Petworth, like right over like right near Columbia Heights and stuff, and so I hear about shows, but all the stuff I hear about is like it's almost like, you know, how when bars be closed, it'd be after hours. It's almost like that same feel. Like if you know somebody and they tell you about where it's at, you know, you'll find out about it. But that's pretty much what it's like right now because it's legal, but it's sketchy legal. It's like
DC is the only place I've ever heard that term after hours like that heavy. Like any city I've ever lived in, I have never heard that like that. Like DC be having after. I've never been to one, but I've heard like them shit.
I've been to more than my share. I used to think like I was never like
there 5-6 days a week.
I used to be like a real smallest bouncer at this one bar, so I met a bunch of bartenders, and then when I started doing comedy shows, I met a bunch of industry folks. So people would tell me like, if you want to keep drinking, you know, there's places that are open at 3, you know, because they just had to stop serving around 3 in DC. But
you can be at one of the after hours, 7 o'clock in the morning, man.
The sun will be coming up when you leave, or when you leave, and but also it's scary when shit goes wrong, like, you know, if like a fight breaks out, or if like just anything horrible.
And I got a funny story because I actually got into a fight at one.
As the sun was coming up.
It's funny. Those things, they're funny because it's like, you know, it's like I understand why you won't hear about that in New York because there's no need for it in New York because they stay open later and stuff. But like LA probably. But I mean, I know in DC because everything closes at 3 here.
Gotcha.
Some folks want to keep partying and stuff. Yeah.
And they definitely do. The motherfucker who hit me, he was No, hey, listen. So I'll tell you that story real quick. So I was at an after hour. You know, I'm a photographer too. So I shot a lot of nightlife events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So after the nightclub closed, maybe get a bite to eat, hit an after hour. So you know, I'm on the after hour scene heavy after the club. So I take my little Spanish homie this night with me. From one of my other clubs that he's the DJ, I'm the photographer. So I bring him to the after hour. Not even 10 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, let's say 30 minutes of us being there. I run into a guy that I know, and I talked to this dude the day before. Okay? Keep in mind, I talked to this motherfucker the day before.
Right.
And I decided to get a fucking haircut. And I think I the day before I had contacts on. This day I had glasses on. And I just got new glasses. And this motherfucker didn't recognize me, and he was off that shit. And real shit.
He thought you was a whole other nigga.
No, I mean it's stem from me getting. I was frying him. You know, he started joking with me. Woo. And, you know, he was with a broad and shit. He tried to go off, and I split him in half. You know, and I talked him down, and then he just turned around and hit me. Hey, listen, this nostril is not the same.
Did he knock the new glasses off?
He knocked the new. Hey, listen, he knocked the new glasses off, bro. Hey, listen.
CJ was like, "You did not just knock off my goddamn."
And that's what made me the most. That made me mad the most. That made me mad the most, fellas.
I just got these.
And listen, who's reading my mind? Hey, who's reading my mind? Because that's exactly when they flew off. I said, I just got these.
Yeah, I know, bro. I know your pain. As a person whose glasses are part of their face, I know your pain. Like, if I take it off, it's like Mr. Potato Head. Like it's like my eyes are gone. Like
the eyes come with the glasses.
Eyes come with the glasses. But you know, when the glasses came off, I couldn't really see. But I saw the shadow of them dreadlocks, and I got a hold of them.
This story is hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? I got a hold of them. But this is my left hand. My left ain't as powerful. I had the dreads in my right. I needed the dreads in my left. Shit.
Hey, CJ, was that comedy show that we went to that Jamon was hosting? Was that considered after hours, or that just was some regular late night shit?
What joint he did? Which one?
Remember we left Purple Lounge. This was on my birthday. Remember we left Purple Lounge and went to the remember because I performed and met the little white girl or whatever.
Oh, no. That was like, you know, it's early. That wouldn't be considered after hours, after 3.
What I'm saying, because people in there was fucked up. That's why I'm asking. Like they was on that shit. That's why I was at. I didn't know if it was the quality of people or was it the time of day that considered after hours.
Like they was smoking rock or something, man. They was.
Bro. Hey, all jokes aside, there was at least 3 niggas in there leaned on the person next to them like this.
Yo,
I mean, it was not.
Never. It was couples, you know, comedy shows.
So Rudy did a spot at a crack house? Is that what you said?
We did a spot at a crack house.
Don't put me in that, bro.
You performed that too.
I'm making fun like I wouldn't take the spot. I'm making fun like I wouldn't take that spot. So I would definitely take that spot.
It was at a nightclub. Was that on Adams Morgan? That was on Adams Morgan somewhere, right? It was at
that might be DT.
What'd you say, Leon?
No, that was Adams Morgan. That was Adams
Now,
Morgan.
remember he had one on Adams Morgan. He had one on 8th Street too. He had
Adams Morgan joint though.
Yeah, but it was on Adams Morgan because it was a club that had like a little smaller bar upstairs, but then the main part was downstairs, and that's where you had that's where we did the mic or whatever. And it was niggas in that bitch slumped. I'm talking about they was slumped like. And because we left after Oscar when we got on stage, it was roughly 1 a.m. or so. It was late, you know what I'm saying? So like, it was. That's why I asked was the after hours.
And that's why the people was slumped because they was in a relationship and you wasn't. I mean, Like,
No.
Come on,
Some
man.
some of them niggas was leaning on their homeboys. I ain't talking about female. Man.
Hey, who else you gonna lean on if you can't lean on your own?
Good point. Very good point.
What type of
But I'm
world are
saying-
we living in?
But the question, no. You can lean on your homeboy. The question is, why were they leaning?
Because it was late. Some homeboys can't stay up late.
Take your ass home. They ain't homeless. What you mean?
You know the
Hey,
you know,
listen.
one
Hey,
that don't drive, the one that don't drive?
CJ, you was there. My entire set was crowd work. I had conversations with these people.
Of course.
They was fucked up. I was talking to zombies. And they literally thought, like, the more and more I was just insulting everybody, they just thought it was the funniest shit in the world. Except for one nigga. One nigga I thought was gonna kill me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cause like he was like,
maybe they were zombies, like the zombies from the Thriller video that are always leaning, you know?
No. They were definitely, I'm telling you, they were zombies. They was on some
You
shit.
should put,
It
you should put that on
weed.
your comedy resume, son. You should put I killed in a crack house. On your
Right.
I fucking slaughtered at a crack house one night.
How many people go to the dope hole and still kill?
Anything at that point.
Right. Hey, I remember, Leon, you had a dope little spot at the what that brewery was called? Yeah, it was like a little brewery that was
Yeah, it was a few different breweries, and we still technically do it, but obviously everything's shut down right now. But there's a show that I do with my friend Pete Musto. It's called Power of Positive Drinking. We do it at a few different breweries.
Got you.
And, it was I don't know. Did you go to one in Virginia or did you go to one in Silver Spring or?
Don't
We
have
had
to
a
lie
couple
to
of
you.
decent shows.
I can tell you what it looked like more than where it was at, but it was
All right, give me a brief description. I probably give.
So basically, when you first walk in, so that's where the bar is, if you will. And this place literally, maybe all breweries like this because I don't drink beer, so I wasn't familiar. But they literally only had beer, in the beers that they made. It was no
beer and wine at the most.
No soda, water. It was nothing. It was just beer.
Yeah.
So I remember that. But then when you walk inside, the setup is literally like a straight shot almost. So like the stage is like basically like directly in front of you. To your left is where the big ass Willy Wonka chocolate factory looking barrels is, I guess, for the beer or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's literally just picnic tables. It was a straight shot just going.
Yeah, that was probably Port City in Alexandria. Yeah, that's probably Port City.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, which is a good brewery. They won a bunch of awards and stuff, and their beer is good. But they actually now they serve wine and some other shit now too.
Oh,
and
okay.
they have food trucks out there now too. Because we basically told them because we told them people want to eat when they come to comedy.
I'm telling you, man. When I tell you, when I went there, they had nothing but beer. I was like, y'all got food? Nah, we just got beer. Water, anything.
Yeah.
Like, just
in the
soda,
early days, it was nothing but
like,
straight up beer. And like, if you didn't
beer.
drink beer or drink it all, you drink water, basically.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah.
It's hard
But
for the
now
straight
they
edge
actually have like
guys.
some other options now. So what?
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's hard for the straight edge guys because I don't drink really. So like, if you don't have soda or like water, then what like some mics are like, I'll pay you in beer, and I'm like, bro, I won't. You're not paying me at all.
You're not paying me at all.
Yeah,
This is free.
Yeah.
This is free.
There's nothing in this for me other than just getting on stage.
Right. I'm literally, but see, I'm the type. I'm always like, when I get paid a drink ticket, I go straight up to. I say, whatever the value of the drink I can get with this, how much food can I get with that same amount of money? Like, that's what I need. Fuck the beer, the drink, and all that. Like, if this drink can get me a $7 drink
before he got there. Get there.
No. So you knew me when I was in the Army when I couldn't smoke weed. I don't drink no more at all. Like when I was in the Army, all I could do is drink. But for me, I'm trading them drink tickets in for food as best possible. Like if this drink would cost $7, let me get something $7 worth of the food menu, and that's just how I do it. Flip it.
That's actually a smart idea. I've never considered about doing that.
I trade my
Really
money
smart
in
idea.
for the drinks. I do the opposite.
I was.
Yeah, there you go.
Just give their money right back to them and get fucked up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm not even act like I haven't.
Like, we love this
It's
comic.
more than
Money just
eight.
goes back into our pocket.
Exactly.
I mean, for me, it's always depend. I mean, because a lot of clubs will give you that option, though. That's like, some clubs will give you that option. But I would. It depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling hungry, I'm gonna eat. If I feel like getting drunk, I'm gonna get drunk, and I'm gonna start with that.
Hey, so I got an interesting question to ask each one of y'all, and I'll call names, so I guess we can just know what order to go in. But the question basically is like, so what not so much what level of comedy you think you see yourself or whatever. But like, just if you could just kind of like paint your ideal career when it came down to like your comedy career specifically, and that could deal with stand up, it could deal with a sitcom, whatever. But I'm saying, I don't want to know if you want to do music or something like that. I'm just talking about just strictly if we're talking about comedy. Like, what would that look like for you? Just out of curiosity. It's your fantasy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to try to be humble and whatever.
I think
whatever.
CJ wants to sing opera. I think he wants. He got into this. There's a long way around to getting into,
sing
the high
opera
performing
and then fight any of the hecklers.
Exactly. Punch the shit out of some motherfucker in a tuxedo.
Yeah, job opera. Man.
So, Michael, we can start with you. You're at my top left.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that you said, like, I don't want to hear if you want to do music or anything, because it's like, well, that's also what I do. So I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think I've actually come up with an idea and things like that for a show that I want to do, and hopefully once COVID and everything lifts and everything, we can try to get this show started. But essentially, like, I've always been into like rock and roll music, and I've been in rock and roll venues and things like that my whole life in bands, and I want to kind of mold comedy with rock and roll music.
All right.
In some way, shape, or form, and kind of make comedy a rock show. Because a lot of my favorite people, like, Donald Glover, Steve Martin, a lot of these people, they're kind of like rock star comics in a way, like, even though they're not really playing rock music, like they're kind of considered like a presence, and you could even argue Kevin Hart is like that as well, where it's like he's like a rock star. He's like a rock star basically. So that kind of thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm also an actor, so like I would love to be on a sitcom, on some sort of comedy show. But quick
question about your sitcom. Would you want to be the lead, or would you want to be like that funny, the sidekick that's always like the real strong,
Man, it would really depend on the show. But to be honest, I'm less likely to do the Mike Valdez sitcom. Like, I don't want to do that. Right. Because I feel like a lot of those, say what you want about like Seinfeld being a great show, but like Jerry Seinfeld's the least funny person on Seinfeld.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Like Tim Allen is the least funny person in Home Improvement.
That's usually how it goes. Yeah, for sure.
Or whatever. Like I want to be, the funny dude,
sure. Gotcha.
So yeah, it would be something like that,
Dope.
Yeah.
That's lit.
What about you?
Well, I was gonna go last. I was gonna let y'all. I was gonna answer. Yeah.
Well, I have the best idea, so I'm gonna go last.
Well, no.
I'm joking.
You see how my New York idea went? It failed. So.
By the end, he's gonna steal a little bit from all of ours and say that's his big.
For sure, right? Yeah, I want to be the funniest guy. I want to
be in a band.
Right. I know I said no music, but somehow I'm feeling this rock and roll thing. No, but so Randy, actually, you can go. It's on you, big dog.
Sure. What was my ideal career path? I mean, I love stand up, so I would love to be able to do 200 nights a year. At least.
Gotcha.
I want to be on the road. I feel like
comedy club, or you talking about like theaters?
I mean, it's as big as I can get, obviously. But I do.
Go ahead.
I do like. There's something about being in, like a comedy club. So like I said, I've been fortunate enough to go on the road with a buddy of mine for about 2 years. And, we're playing, anywhere from 300 to 500 seat clubs.
Sure.
So like the Phoenix is like probably bigger than that, a little bit bigger than that. But so that's a great vibe. And I love that. So once I started doing that, I was like, I want to do this shit for the rest of my life. I mean, I want to be on the road.
Right.
I want to be on the road fucking every weekend out of the month if I could.
Right.
And then obviously that entails theaters at some point. That's great. But I still feel like some part of me would always do some clubs just because I feel like the club is where it's like is the best atmosphere for comedy. And then outside of that, man, I have a podcast. I love doing podcasts. I want to keep that going. I don't have like any huge TV ambitions or movie ambitions. Not now. I mean, I'm so early in it that I don't know. I never even tried acting, so I don't know if I mean, I did it, middle school and high school and shit, but I don't know how much I would love it now.
Right.
But if I would say if I would get a TV gig, I'd love to do a late night show like Tough Crowd or something like that, because I grew up on that show, and that show was fucking phenomenal. Something more edgy, not just typical Jimmy Fallon bullshit.
Jimmy Fallon bullshit.
Well, I mean,
that's so sad. He watches every week, dude. Jimmy Fallon. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
I'm sorry,
He's watching us right now. And he's like, come on, man.
No, man, but those guys have a box around them. When you're on network TV, you got like a box around you. So obviously, if you're doing something like an HBO show, I mean, like Bill Maher, but something maybe a little bit less political, something like that, where you can bring a little more realism to it, as opposed to having to do like a Jay Leno monologue and bring out fucking whatever famous act is out next, and that's a little cookie cutter for me. But that's kind of I mean, definitely stand up. I never want to get off the road, the podcast, and then maybe some select TV opportunities.
Dope. Lit, man. Lit. CJ, what about you, bro?
I'm a black man. I mean, I'm grinding.
He wants to be able to pay his rent.
No, I mean,
he like, man, fuck all these dreams and shit. Yeah,
man. I just want to punch the glasses off of that guy that punched my glasses off. Like, that's how it feels, dude.
Hey, no, I mean, I'm a dreamer just like everybody else. So, I mean, I can see myself doing movies on the same level as even Kevin Hart. I mean, I think I'm funnier than him, if I might say. I mean, I've had the comparison, to be totally honest, but I be working. I'm be grinding. I'm managing projects. I'm doing a bunch of shit, and I got a whole bunch of shit running around in my brain, man. This ADHD brain of mine, man, to just be great at whatever. So, but yeah, no, I can see myself if I had like a family sitcom. I could probably, if I was like a sitcom or something, and like my man Randy said, as big as you can get. I probably wouldn't want to be as like crazy as like a Kevin Hart or nothing like that. If it came to famous wise, I mean, I would just want to be, recognizable on some, some coming out of club and like, oh shit, there go CJ. You know what I'm saying? He did this.
Box office draw. You pull up. You gonna sell it. You gonna sell it out. You gonna do it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
something like that. And I'm a parent. If I didn't do it great as a parent, in reality, maybe I could do it better in a TV show.
He's gonna treat his TV kids better than his real kids.
Yeah.
Like, of course they're getting me paid, not you.
Hey,
fucking Ingrid.
but
they're being forced to say "I love you, Dad."
The love, I get all that. I mean, if I open that door right there, my daughter running here. She's 17. I get the love. I have 6 kids, 4 boys, 2 girls. Like, I get the love.
Wow, holy shit.
Yeah,
awesome.
Everybody grown. There's only 2 live at home now. I mean,
what? How old are you, CJ? Goddamn, man, you don't look old enough for 6 grown kids.
Yeah. I'm 46, bro.
Oh man,
dude, you're 46 and you're still getting your glasses punched off of your face. That's some 12-year-old shit, dude.
Daddy comes home with a black eye, not the kids.
I'll tell you, and that's what type of person I am. I'll put my real, out there for people. I'll always look at myself as I don't want to be the only person that's funny. That's why, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of, what I'm saying, but I have true friends, mostly friends 30, 25, 30, damn near 40 years, you know what I'm saying? And those friends keep me laughing. So when I'm around other comedians, I like that, put my shit out there so they can laugh and bounce off. And I can hear different shit from, as long as it's not offensive and I have to hurt you,
Of course, yeah.
Hey, you ain't say that shit when that nigga knocked them glasses off your face.
I know, man. I'm like protecting my glasses. Please.
Hey, listen, funny thing about it is at the end, like when we're going to another after hour, anyway. Don't judge me. So he ended up hitting me Because like I said, I spoke to him. I'll tell you the rest of the story. I spoke to him the night before, and I gave him a lot of advice about being a host. So he was a host, like in a nightclub, and he did urban shit. I mean, like urban shit, but like real ghetto shit. You know?
Okay.
You know, real hoochie shit. You know, I'm more like, you know, a little, you know, it's more white bitches where I'm at. You know.
Fair enough.
That's a great description.
Yeah.
Some of the describe place from now on. There's the amount of white bitches at it.
Yeah.
Winery,
What's
a lot
the
of white
quote
bitches.
of white bitches at
Hey,
this
listen,
A lot
club?
of white bitches.
A lot of girls from Russia. Here we go. So I was just telling him how to get in the mix and shit like that. And the fact that he didn't recognize me, he apologized hours later. Like seriously, that does, you know, seriously, like really, CJ, you're OG. You've been in the club. This, you all that. Other people call him. They know. I let him. I mean, we tussle. When he hit me, I hit him back. We tussle. My little Spanish homie tried to get one in, but you know, I'm kneeing him and everything. This is not just going down. CJ got stole. But funny thing about it, I got a second time where I was at. So I'll tell you another story. I was.
Hey, people gotta still. Other people gotta tell their dreams, man. You see.
You're just talking about fights you got in now.
How many glasses have you gone through, CJ?
Look, I only got my ass whooped twice, okay?
One more
This is all
glass.
just last week, son. This is all just last week. You got a lot more stories to go.
Definitely, hey, listen,
Bro, he has lens crafters on speed dial. He's like,
definitely like
CJ again.
you know what? My glasses didn't even break. Neither time. But I got sucker punched by a Spanish dude. But I crushed him bad though. And I don't even want to
Oh,
tell you.
yeah.
I don't want to incriminate myself, but I crushed. You know, I'm a comic. I'm a fighter. You know, if it go down, it go down. The other dude, I knew him. The Spanish dude who hit me because all right. So listen, real quick. I walk up to the girl, right? Real quick, Rudy. So I walk up. I think I told you this story. So I walk up to the girl. You know, downstairs. This how I run my business when I'm doing a nightclub shit, right? So if I see you with a girl and she bad, I want to take her photo. This bitch bad. This is what I get paid for. You understand?
Right.
Yeah.
You are fucking relevant. You're not relevant. Get the fuck out the way. But I have to take them together to fake. Hey, y'all, can I get y'all? Boom, now move, bitch nigga. Boom, now I can get her. So I asked, and he flexed on me. Nah, she good. Nah. So I go upstairs. Anyway, fast forward to the damn near the end of the night. They dancing. Woo, I'm over the balcony shooting, taking a photo. He pushed me and said, because she was almost about to knock my camera on my hand. You know what I'm saying? And he pushed me, and I told my man, I said, yo, tell your man, relax. Anyway, his man was faking, and then he sucker punched me. Another person sucker punched me. I don't know if I look like a punching bag, but that one I beat bad. And he broke my camera, so I broke the other piece of the camera over his head.
Oh man.
Damn.
But the glasses were still good though.
But
Yeah.
the glasses were still good.
That's good.
And that was another night that I just got the glasses, so I was just I'm bad with getting new glasses. I'm getting contacts again, guys.
Yeah, man.
I got an appointment with laser vision soon too.
Yeah,
Hey.
you might as well get laser vision because they're gonna knock the contacts out too. Like, no, like,
Those are harder to find too.
yeah, I know.
You'll be on the floor crawling around.
Hey, listen, if I'm on the floor, the other person's definitely down there with me.
I'm talking about looking for content. I'm not talking about you,
I'm looking for the glasses.
I'm not doubting you after all these stories.
All right, hey, Will, it's on you, man. We done with CJ's trauma. All right.
You welcome,
Yeah,
guys.
you know
You're
what?
welcome.
I like I like the space Dave Chappelle's in, man. Like I love to just be able to just hop into a city, sell out, and then hop out. Like I don't want to be on the road, you know, doing a bunch of shows. I just want to fly to a city. I'm like, yo, I'm in, you know, Oregon, and I just pull up to a venue, and you know, people want to see it. So as far as like being on stage, you know, I'm kind of like Mike. I like doing music, so being able to have like a band, and like doing like, you know, some real like comedy music, but like on a different type of level with it. But you know, mixed with stand up. So that's kind of what I see like ideally. And then I would love to, you know, being that I kind of really gained a passion for writing. So like, I don't want to really star in any shows, but just being able to like write a show and like probably produce, but just like being able to like, you know, have that power and flexibility.
And that
just
shit
like,
be popping. Yeah.
I can get it made. Like, so I'll be Gucci on all that.
That's real. Dope, man. Yeah. Do you? I know you. Do you still post your scripts on IG? I know you was doing it for like the little short, I guess, that you was writing or whatever.
I had stopped, man, because I was just like I was doing a bunch of just short stories.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to just focus on just like getting like actual things done. So like if you know I'm in a position to like everybody keeps saying gotta have a spec, gotta have a TV pilot, gotta have a feature. So I want to get those. I got my pilot done. I got a spec done. I just gotta knock out a feature.
Yeah.
And, so I kind of cooled off on all that just so I can be like, all right, let me knock the rest of these out. So I'll probably start about though.
Dope. All right, Mr. Leon.
All right, well, my goals and dreams are to not be hanging out with CJ on the wrong night and shit. No, I'm sorry. No, CJ, that's my man. He's good people. But all I'm saying is, man, for real, actually, my goal, if I had the pattern where I want to go, like the person who's doing it, who did it as closely as I would like to do, as far as from a writing aspect, it's like Larry David, you know, just because, you know, starting off with stand up, because right now I'm working for this TV show in DC called Get Up DC. It's an early morning 6 a.m. news show that's hosted by a comic named Reese Waters, and I write different segments for the show and like monologue jokes and stuff like that for him and everything. But it's like, but it airs at 6 a.m. so I'm doing it overnight most nights. Like he's literally on vacation the next 2 weeks, so that's why I'm like, this was perfect the timing. Because I don't have to like get up at midnight and start writing right now like I normally had to do. But so it's really cool. But the thing is, I kind of want to do it I want to do it somewhere nationally soon as well, because I've been in DC. I've been doing this show here going on. It's actually just my 3-year anniversary was recently of me writing for the show. But I kind of want to do it on, I want to do it on like a larger platform. And eventually I want to create something myself, whether I'm the guy doing it or whether somebody else is. I don't really care. I just want to kind of be the guy behind it, driving it, creating it, making it happen, you know, and just being able to see visions that I have in my head, like out there for the world to see. I kind of want to do that. So that's, that's what I want to do. That's like the goal that I've set for myself, is to be able to do that. So right now, while we're in this pandemic, I've just been reading as much as I can, writing. I've been writing a lot of stuff for work, which is cool. That's the thing, is like with me not going on stage, that's actually helped me a lot. Just the fact that I am writing something that people are seeing, because even if somebody else is doing it, I'm writing some stuff that like people are seeing, jokes and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, people thought that was funny. So there's something from it, but it's still not the same as actually hearing laughter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also realize I kind of want to do this for a larger audience. I've been doing it for a long time now, and I feel like the only way that I'm gonna like make the money I want to make from doing it, and also just not even just the money, but just be able to like leave, like, I guess if I want to leave a legacy, like saying, oh, I created something that outlived me, is if I do something that like gets created and like goes into syndication, whatever else, and you know, that way, you know, that'll be like my mark on the world, I guess, is like some laughter that's gonna like make generations laugh, as opposed to like something where I'm like, okay, the only people that saw it was something that somebody that happened to be up at 6 a.m. and saw the news cycle and was like, okay, cool. But then these jokes are like old news, literally a week later, you know. So,
what I was going to ask you,
we're going to try to keep getting better, man. You know, that's
what I was going to ask you, when you say you want to do it on a larger platform, are you specifically saying still in that news realm, or just a larger platform, like in another, I guess, like sitcom or whatever, as far as TV?
Honestly, right now, like news, late night sitcom, anything. Like, I mean, the thing is, I'm honestly right now, because I've only written, because I've mainly been writing like, you know, like topical stuff right now, and then writing stuff for my act, and then topical stuff and everything. I worked on a screenplay with some folks before too, but the thing is, I want to kind of learn. I've been reading a lot about how to write like spec scripts and stuff. Like, I heard you guys were talking about that earlier, but I've been like basically working on doing some of that myself too, just to have some ready and just to kind of like learn that process. So I've been trying to take my time during the pandemic to do that and to learn, because I know that that's something that I have to do if I'm going to get even looked at for something like that later on down the line.
Yeah, I'm not a pro at it, but I mean, if anybody needs any tips or advice, or just want to like shoot the shit, you know, hit me up. Like, I'm more than happy to help any way I can.
Cool. Well, I added all of y'all, so guess what? I'm gonna be reaching out to y'all. So
you can reach out to me as well. I do all that stuff. I do screenwriting and everything. Yeah. I'm more than happy to talk shop and comedy with anyone. That's what I nerd out about. Is that stuff.
Perfect. Well, like I said, you all gonna, you're all, like I added all of you guys on Instagram already, so I'm gonna definitely be reaching out because, like I said, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can while I can't really do as much of anything else that I would normally do. Because usually I'd be on stage like every night, but now it's like it's so rare that I can get on stage. I've just been trying to be productive with the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, for me, I quickly answer the question. In reference, so the two areas for me would definitely be comedy in reference to stand up, and then film, and more or less behind the camera, along the lines of somewhere between writing, directing, producing. Not necessarily always have to be all three at the same time, but just kind of more on that side, like creating it and then kind of watching it come together, type of thing. I'm not really that savvy when it comes down to like lights or whatever. So like I can't be nobody grip or some shit. Like I'm just not that guy. You know what I'm saying? But I can do a lot of other things when it comes down to but my main thing is going with that. So like I definitely want to just create in the TV and film space. But as far as comedy, I like comedy is kind of more like a calling for me, and then like TV and all that is more of a passion. So for me, if my whatever I do, just say if I put it on a screen, if that elevates or increases my stand-up comedy career, that would be more ideal for me as opposed to the opposite. Like I wouldn't like kind of how like Eddie Murphy would like he's more of a bigger movie star than he is comedy, even though a lot of comedians respect him as a stand-up, you know what I'm saying? But he's way more known for like his movies, whatever like that. So for me, I wouldn't want necessarily film to drown out my stand-up to that degree. You know what I'm saying? I would still want them, if not even, I would want the stand-up to be, I don't want to say more recognizable, but just I don't know, bigger or something. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. So for me, I just want to just make waves in both spaces. So real quick, man, before we wrap things up, I guess I'll go in the reverse order that we just went. So Leon doesn't have to go last again. Y'all can just quickly just plug whatever you got. If it's just your Instagram, that's fine. If you got podcasts, websites, you got your own little small business selling waist trainers or something with flat tummy tea. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to plug it away. So Leon, the floor is yours, sir.
All right. Well, like I said, if you're in DC and you're up at the butt crack of dawn, watch Get Up DC at 6 a.m. I'm not. I write for it. I'm not like on there, but my Instagram, actually, all my social media is a handle that's up here at Listen to Leon. All of my, you can see that at LISTNTOLEON. And I occasionally on Tuesdays, usually on most Tuesdays I do this live show called It Grinds My Gears. I let people rant like on Family Guy. I let people go up there and rant. We just talk shit for like about a couple hours, usually starting around 6:30, 7 o'clock on East Coast time. And I usually do that every Tuesday. So that's one thing that you can see me doing live. Other stuff, I have a bunch of links to videos, a couple specials and stuff that I did. It's on my website, which is literally called lightskinjokes.com, mainly because I'm a very light-skinned, like waffle-colored black dude, and so people would make light-skin jokes whenever I go on stage. So I fucked around and said, guess what? I'm gonna buy this URL, and it was $7, and that's the best $7 I spent in a long time. So yeah, so whenever people make light-skin jokes, they can say, guess what? Check out my website, lightskinjokes.com. So
Nice.
Makes sense.
now I just need to invest in a better web designer because my shit looks like shit. So
Gotcha. All right, King Will, it's on you, bro.
Yeah, y'all can pretty much check me out, King Willonius on. I'm just really focused on IG, and so King Willonius, KingWillonius. Working on a YouTube. I'm gonna drop that probably end of this month. It's gonna be Avocado Poppy. So we're gonna do like a lot of food related like content. With like a comedic spin. So yeah,
like
YouTube.
Some vegan shit?
Huh?
You want to be like some vegan shit?
Nah, well, a little bit. Look, I consider myself a part-time vegan, so
Gotcha.
I do a little bit of vegan, a little bit of non-vegan, but yeah, but pretty much that's with SoundCloud, Delicious Bath Water, where I drop my music. So but,
Delicious bath water. That is hilarious.
yeah.
It's like you already know what it sounds like.
Delicious bath.
But King Melonius on Instagram, I film everything through there.
Dope. For sure, man. CJ, it's on you, bro.
Yeah, you can find me at Comedy CJ. I'm not always violent, you know. Normally, people are violent towards me, and then I have don't let anyone think that I'm a lunatic or anything. I can be crazy, and I'll back everybody up on this. We're out and we're hanging out, and you about to get your ass. Well, Randy look like he can beat everybody. that little Sylvester Stallone steroid. You know, my man King Will, you know, you look like a ex-baller. So you talk enough sports, we'll get out of anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I ain't really doing shit, but just follow me on Instagram. You know, I mean, I hope one day I get a chance to meet all the guys on here. All you guys got personality.
Yeah, same.
You know, so yeah.
Oh, man.
I just loved it when Rudy put this together. So that's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you. Randy, it's on you, sir.
I obviously can find me on Instagram at Randy Valerio. I do a podcast every week with my man Chase Abel. That's called Ready Set Blow. Comes out every Wednesday. Talk a little shit, talk a little news, have a bunch of guests on. We have a good time with that. I've been running that for a few years now. And then I got some dates coming up, actually. If you're listening, you're in Florida, I'll be in Naples at Off the Hook, opening up for my buddy Jeff Dye.
Hey,
hell yeah.
Following weekend, 29th through 31st. So check out some tickets for that. And then I think the week, and then in December, I'm supposed to be in Royal Oak at the Comedy Castle, December 3rd through 5th. So if you guys want to come see some live comedy and you're in either of those states, you know, check out their website.
So Off the Hook got some good ass food. That's one. That's like
There you
for
go.
yeah.
Rudy's always talking about the food, man.
They got some good ass food.
Motherfucker, that's who he is.
I did happen to get paid money that night, but at the same time, I got a lot of food. Yeah,
Right, nice.
No, for sure.
Ain't nothing like that food at Purple Lounge though.
It's different though, cause Purple Lounge is Ethiopian food. So like Purple Lounge food is definitely fire, but it's good in a different way though. Like it's cause it's Ethiopian food. Like they just had like good American food. Like they had like some type of like buffalo chicken, macaroni and cheese type thing that I ate. That shit was fine. I took one to go on the way back to Miami. Like that shit was good. Yeah. Anyways, Mike, it's on you, sir.
Yeah, man. For me, you can follow me on Instagram at Mike Valdez. It's right here. And you can basically find everything on my Instagram, my website, whoismikevaldez.com. That has my music, my comedy clips, my acting reel, all that stuff. Also, I have a podcast where I talk to performers about their childhood and how it relates to who they are now. It's called Child Like It Best with Mike Valdez. And you can check that out. Hopefully I will have all 5 of you on at one point.
Is that podcast dark, or does it turn out to be funny? Like I feel like comics probably got like traumatic childhoods.
No, actually it's
I want to do this one.
right.
It's a free therapy session.
On that one.
Exactly. Free therapy session for everybody coming on.
Bro.
I'm gonna get cured by Mike.
Yeah. It's no, I haven't had any dark comedians for the most part. I mean, it's
I'm right here, the darkest one you're gonna get, baby.
No, but not like that. Okay. You're hilarious though. That's the thing. Like there's like dark, but it's hilarious, and then there's dark people where you're like, all right, dude, like I don't want to be around you anymore. Right. You know?
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's a fun thing. And like the little hook that I have is that every episode we review a box of cereal, and we review it as the cartoon character that's on the box. You know, it's like, you know, it's cute, it's adorable, it's who I am as a person. So It's what you would expect from somebody.
Himself cute and adorable.
Bro, it's what you would expect from somebody with my face. You know what I mean? Like,
he's like, CJ is the darkest, but I'm the cutest and the most adorable.
Out of all 6 of us, I look like I have a podcast about cereal. Like,
yo, that is hilarious. All kids cereal too. It's just
Hell
everything
yeah.
with marshmallows and colors.
Hell yeah.
But dope, man. I appreciate all y'all coming, man. RudyComedy.com for me. I've linked my Instagram and YouTube stuff to there. So just check that out, man, because I pay for that. So I'm pushing that more than the other free stuff. As far as the comics here, man, Mike, Leon, Will, Randy, CJ, I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. This was a dope conversation, man. Yeah, this was awesome.
Great.
Thanks for having us on.
No, absolutely, man. Feel free to come back. I'm sure after a while I'll be reaching back out to you again because I'm not sure how long. Like I said, I created this for the sake of the pandemic. But I know the more and more the world opens, I don't know if comics will be less available. So I'll just play it by ear, cross that bridge when we get there. But for as long as I can do this, I'm gonna keep on doing it. Allow us to do all the networking or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna definitely Mike. I'll definitely get with y'all in reference to screenwriting stuff. Randy, please hit me up about the outside shows. CJ, go to therapy. Get a little.
Yeah. Hold on to those glasses.
Get a little off your chest.
I can play those. This is a rugged road that I'm playing. This is a road that I'm playing right now. I'm playing a contractor daily.
Right.
Struggle, black man, America. This is the part that I'm playing. 300.
Not really who you are.
Yeah. Man, I know it's been said before, Rudy, but like one of the things that I really miss about comedy is hanging out with comics. So thank you so much for doing this, man.
No doubt, man.
I had such a blast with you guys. This was so fun.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man.
Therapy for you too. I've been in this apartment by myself the whole time.
No, that's lit, man. Yeah, man. Now, y'all boys be safe, man. Out and about, man. Safe travels to you, Randall. You trip to Florida.
Thank you, brother.
Kill it, man. Like I said, I'm being in contact with all y'all for one reason or another. But either way, man, if y'all need me even before then, just reach out. I'm here. So,
Yeah.
All right, cool.
thank you to anybody who was watching. Everybody, good night. We out.
See ya.
Thank you.